Hello Aquarius, welcome to your message for 2022. My name is Mo. Welcome to my channel, Mo Moon Tarot. This is a reading for Aquarius sun signs, or if your rising sign is Aquarius, this message is for you. I will be using my Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. And I will be using the Major Arcana cards from the Rose Tarot by Nigel Jackson. What I did was I went to my altar with the intention of channeling some energies for you for 2022. I played my singing bowl, opened some channels for the divine to give me some messages for you, Aquarius. And I wrote down those messages, and when I felt like the downloads were done, I played my singing bowl, closed the channel, and then took my findings to the kitchen table where I researched a little bit more about what the messages were specifically geared towards you for what reason. So let's start by pulling a tarot card for you from the Majors from the Rose Tarot by Nigel Jackson. So this is going to be the card that we will use as a lens through which we will view the messages. Aquarius. Oh, we got the Emperor. Okay, the Emperor. Card number 4 of the Major Arcana. This is the lens through which we will be viewing the messages that I got as downloads. So it's very interesting because the Emperor is a very stand in your power type of energy, Aquarius. So that's really good for 2022. I feel like it's going to be a take no BS attitude. It's really going to be an energy of sovereignty, an energy of understanding yourself, understanding your purpose. But let's get into the messages that I received at my altar for you. So Aquarius, for 2022 with the Emperor card as our lens, the first download I got was an orb of light in my crystal ball. And the orb of light in my crystal ball immediately reminded me of the Aurora Borealis, also known as the polar lights. The polar lights are a natural light display in the north, most active March and September. They only show for a few minutes. So they're a very beautiful phenomena where it looks like there's powdered stars falling through the sky, and they change colors in the night sky. And apparently they only last for a few minutes, and they only come out in certain months of the year. And also they can make a crackling sound, which some people think sounds a little bit eerie. But it's like a beautiful phenomenon. People actually travel to these countries to see the Aurora Borealis. And it's in the north. These lights are in the northern countries. So for you, Aquarius, there could be something with you being a natural phenomena. I wanted to say something with the north and you being born during the winter months, but some people who are born, I feel like what I'm trying to say is you will be discovering your truth in 2022, Aquarius. And I feel like with the orb of light in my crystal ball, which reminded me of the Aurora Borealis, it's almost like it's only happening at certain times of the year. It only happens for a short period of time. It makes a very faint noise, which some might consider eerie. But it's almost like you. It's almost like it's embodying you, Aquarius, as an individual. And with this Emperor card as our lens, it's very curious. It's a very curious phenomena because we have the Emperor card, which is a very logical, sturdy, steady, grounded energy of decision, decisiveness, and yet we have this mystical, magical Aurora Borealis falling from the skies and really, like, you know, speaking a sort of eerie language. And you know, as I'm looking out the window in front of me, I'm seeing the waxing gibbous moon in the blue sky above. And I feel like your life in 2022 Aquarius is going to embody that kind of magic, that kind of duality, that kind of phenomena where it's like, it's unexplainable. Like it's almost unexplainable. Like it's almost like there's something deeper behind it. And of course, Aquarius, you being ruled by the planet Uranus, you know, there's that forward thinking motion. There's that out of the world, out of the universe kind of energy. It's far thinking. It's changing. It's evolving. It's an enigma. That's the word I was looking for. It's like your energy is like the energy of an enigma, Aquarius, for you in 2022. The next download I received was in regards to the incense smoke at my altar blowing towards me. So the incense smoke was coming right directly at my face, swirling and moving towards me. It felt like, I wrote it feels like, because at that time I was writing in the present. It feels like I'm being drawn to pay attention to the current moment, to magic. So because I was like looking around my altar, kind of looking for a message for you, Aquarius, looking out my window, and then the incense smoke just all of a sudden wafted in my face, and like I looked at it and it was coming towards me, and it was like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to the magic that I bring to your altar space. It's about being in the present moment and paying attention to every moment as if it is offering you a little taste of magic. It's very interesting because we have the Emperor card, and it doesn't feel like that feminine energy of, you know, intuition. It feels more like stabilities. And I feel like it's going to be a very good year for you in 2022 Aquarius, where you learn how to use your mind in very stable ways and yet balance out your stability with your magic and with your feminine side, because these messages that I received for you are very feminine: intuition, psychic ability, magic, darkness. And yet with the Emperor, you know, the Emperor can be significant of the fire sign. So we have the fire sign being like sun signs, right? Like the sun. The sun is the biggest, you know, fireball next to our planet, the biggest star. So we have that energy of the masculine. So I do feel like there's a very balanced energy for you in 2022, more so than maybe you've ever experienced, Aquarius. The next message number 3, was a bright, clear sky. So I looked out my window and it was a bright, clear sky, almost like today, where there's no clouds in the sky above me. I can see clearly the waxing gibbous moon. You know, I don't see a cloud in the sky. And it's exactly what it was like for you as a message, a bright, clear sky. So again, with the Emperor card, you know, the Emperor being an individual who will not move unless he's thought over something in his head and decided, yes, this is what I want to do. This is the decree that I want to make. This is the direction I want to go in. He doesn't make a move unless he's precisely and exactly sure of everything that he's thought through, that it all makes sense, that all is going to be working in his favor. The Emperor energy is a masculine energy, but it can be your masculine side, whether you're feminine or masculine, or whether you don't have, if you're non-binary as well. There's just a balance. There's a balance with these messages that I received as a download. A bright, clear sky is like, there's no questions about it. It's clear. Your energy is focused. Your energy is, you're able to see what direction you're going in. With the Emperor card, it's a great thing to have a bright, clear sky, because it means that there are no questions to the decisions that you're making. You feel very confident that you see everything clearly before you. The fourth and final message I received for you, Aquarius, to go through this lens of the Emperor, was a squirrel outside, high in a tree, shaking its tail. Now, initially, when I looked up what does it mean when a squirrel shakes its tail, I found the message that a squirrel shaking its tail is to alert other squirrels that there is danger. So the squirrel has seen danger. the squirrel shakes its tail, other squirrels see the squirrel shaking its tail and are aware that there is a predator around and are more careful as to whether or not they'll climb down the tree or wherever they'll go. So I do feel like this is a strong message for you as a humanitarian Aquarius for 2022, where you are taking into account, into consideration, the benefit of the people around you. You are working your humanitarian spirit in whatever type of situation you work in, or whatever type of work you do, or whatever type of activities you take part in. You are taking in consideration the betterment of humanity. And the Emperor card is a leader. The Emperor card represents a leader, I should say. So you will have opportunities in 2022, Aquarius, to really show your leadership spirit with that power of Uranus behind you, that leadership spirit, moving into the unknown with confidence, moving into the unknown with understanding that there is something possible when you move into the unknown, that you're blazing new trails. But when I looked up other things, I wanted to see a little bit more about what does it mean when a squirrel shakes its tail. There are many other things that a squirrel would shake its tail about, which just represents your many facets, the many facets that you have that make up who you are, Aquarius. So warning of danger, warning of a predator, of course, to express that. As a greeting, a squirrel will shake its tail. To balance themselves as they are jumping, they will shake their tail. To claim ownership, they will shake their tail. If they are panicked, they will shake their tail. Fight or flight. So as a muscle warm up, they will shake their tail. To generate heat, they will shake their tail. To distract snakes from vital body parts as a decoy. So if a squirrel shakes its tail to generate heat, it's to distract a snake from going for the body, and the snake will go for the tail where there's more heat energy generated, so that the tail will be lost but no vital organs if the prey if the predator gets the prey, which is the predator being the snake and the prey being the squirrel. So distraction to protect baby squirrels. So if there is a predator coming after these squirrels' babies, the squirrel will shake its tail to distract the predator from going towards the babies, and will bring the predator towards the mother who is shaking their tail, or the father who is shaking their tail. As a mating dance, to swim. So if a squirrel falls into water, they will use their tail to direct themselves in the water. As shelter from the elements. So if it's raining, a squirrel will put its tail over its head to shelter them from the rain or the snow. To show frustration. So if a squirrel is frustrated, they will shake their tail as a sign of frustration. To break a fall. So as a parachute, they will shake their tail, or to absorb impact, they will shake their tail underneath them so that they fall on their tail and not on their vital body parts. Or when they're itchy, they will shake their tail. So as you see, there are many reasons why a squirrel shakes its tail. And as human beings looking at squirrels, we don't really know exactly why a squirrel is shaking their tail specifically, since there are so many reasons why. But I think it's very important to pay attention to how the tail is shaking, because I think that as a human being, we could probably see different patterns of this squirrel's tail shaking to say, okay, that squirrel shaking pattern is for that reason, and because the squirrel is shaking their tail in this pattern, it's another reason. So it's just like, I think what this is really trying to get at, Aquarius, for you is just your intuitive mind, your curious mind, your desire to really understand everything in detail and to really get to the bottom of things. I think forensics is one of the jobs that's really good for Aquariuses, because they are always curious. You are always curious, Aquarius. You're always trying to find out why. You always want to know why. You always want to understand more. And with the Emperor card, with the squirrel shaking its tail, it's like, you also want to understand what makes other people tick and why other people do what they do with no judgment, but I think the Emperor is also somebody who is ready to protect others or protect their own countrymen, countrywomen, because they are that type of leader where they don't want to see their people be hurt, or the people that they love, or the people that stand for what they stand for, or the people that are living under their roof or under their rule. So I do feel like for you, Aquarius, just with all this information that was coming to me for you for 2022, it's really about discovering how you can help others, you know, how you can be that Mother Teresa at the hospital that you work at, or how you can be that that person that helps people see the positive side of things, or helps people really understand how they are treating others, you know. And it's not always about, Aquarius, you know, being the goody two shoes or being the loving person. You know, sometimes love is tough, and I feel like with the Emperor card, we feel that energy that love can be tough, and it doesn't mean that you're not a good person if you're showing tough love. It just means that you're using the same medicine to show other people what type of medicine they're using on other people. So if somebody is showing a certain attitude towards somebody else on a regular basis, and then they come to you and they use that attitude on you, and you're like, no, I'm not going to take that negativity, and you kind of give them back a taste of their medicine with the same type of attitude, not in a mean way, but in a way where it's like, oh, is this how you're going to treat me? Well, look how it feels to be treated like that. And it's not about, you know, being, you know, a bully or being a bad person. It's really just about when somebody has reached a point where they shouldn't be treating somebody a certain way, it's like you are willing to point that mirror back at them and say, look, this is what you look like when you treat somebody like this, because you're willing to be that mirror for people and to really reflect that energy back to them. And the Emperor card is very take charge, and it's a very take charge energy. It's a very strong energy of a clear sky, strong energy of a balanced mind, strong energy of a leader, of a sturdy leader, of a leader with a strong, stable mind. So I do feel like that's the energy for you for 2022, Aquarius, with those messages. Let's get a tarot card just to get some further messages for you, Aquarius, for 2022. Wow. Talking about the sun earlier, we got the sun card for you. Card number 19 of the major arcana. So the sun card for you, along with the Emperor. Remember, I was talking about the sun being a masculine energy and balancing out with these feminine messages of intuition. So we have the sun. So I do feel like for 2022 for you with these two major arcana, the sun card and the Emperor, but especially the sun card, your path will be lit before you, Aquarius, in 2022. You will grow, you will develop, you will see every part of you, even the parts that you don't like, but you will be able to really work through them with the Emperor energy of just channeling information through your mind and making decisions, and then getting up finally and acting on those decisions. So that is your message for 2022, Aquarius, with the downloads and with the sun card and the Emperor card. Card number 10, card number 4, and card number 19. Yeah. So I hope it was a helpful reading for you, Aquarius. Sorry for that pause there for a second. If you did like this video, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you if you already have. I hope you have a blessed 2022, Aquarius. And again, my name is Mo, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, Aquarius.